In this video, we're going to talk about how Spawn turns the table on his enemies, because in the previous issue, boy got worked. But in this issue, he's turned the table. Alrighty then, this is a comic book review of King Spawn, issue number 36, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. So previously in King Spawn, with Granny Blake now safe with Cyan, Spawn brings the fight to those that sought to harm her. So Jacob Marsh was never athletic. In fact, he was pretty much a dork. Then combined with that always being smaller than the other kids at school. Reason why we're going to Jacob is because in the previous issue, Spawn went to Jacob to get some healing. So now he's getting some materials. And the reason why he's getting those materials, or how he knows about those materials, because when he was isolating himself in his room because he couldn't hang around with the kids at school, all he had to do, all he had time for was to read. So he got all these little items over here, $1,248 in total and 69 cents. Why you gotta put the 69 in there? We know what you're doing. Too early for that. No, it ain't. Anyways, so he got his materials, but he still has to get more materials from the pharmacy. Some band-aids, some aspirins. He asks the lady over the counter, what's the strongest painkillers you have? She tells him, and he asks if the liquor store down the street, if it's still open, and she's like, it's always open, unfortunately. So he goes over there and asks for the strongest bottle of liquor. Well, it's a full moon out there in his little shack, and he asks Al, are you sure about this? Just do it. We'll take a swig of this, heats up the needle, and tells Al, in case the painkillers don't work, as I've said, I'm not a medic. Well, you're all I got, so just do it. And does it? He does. Even though it's stupid, but Al has to do what Al has to do to get stitched up, because like I said in the previous issue, King Spawn 35, Al got that work. Even though he's no longer has the full powers of Spawn anymore because of the events in Spawn issue 350 when Nyx took the throne, the dead zones enveloped the earth, covered up the earth, and no one has the powers no more that are heaven or hell's agents. They're just walking around like normal human beings. Yo, that's pretty brutal right there, and a bit gross. But now tells Al, in order for me to seal your back, I have to use something a little bit bigger, so you probably are gonna need that drink. And he stitches up his back, and now he needs to cauterize it. But ooh, Al's really gonna need that drink. So all of a sudden, he calls Al a punani. But this is just crazy right here. But there's so much pain going on that you can see it in this panel right here. And so much pain happened that Al Simmons blacked out. So in this panel right here, Blood is meeting with his vampire agents, and they tell Blood the West Coast is pretty quiet for now. Most angels there are hiding, deep hiding, and so are Hell's Angels as well. Did I say Hell's Angels? I mean Hell's Agents. So heaven and hell, angels and Hell's Agents, they're hiding from Blood because right now vampires have all the power. And they're like, good, it's kind of nice seeing them run for a change. Freaking losers. But Blood is like, I will not tolerate arrogance, you understand? We do not have that luxury. Their powers will eventually return at some point. We need to be ready, but right now bring me my captive. And that they do, and he tells the captive, and that's Kruger from the previous couple issues, because Kruger ratted him out to Spawn. And Blood is like, do you know who I am? I do. You control the vampire sectors. Then you also know I did a few favors for you angels, lent you some of my troops. And Kruger starts getting nervous, like, look Blood, no. I won't stand here and listen to excuses. What happened in Berlin is unacceptable. I lost some good men. And he's talking about King Spawn issue number 33 when Kruger spilled the tea, a little too much tea, on where exactly to find the Berlin agents for Al Simmons. So Blood is like, we both want the same thing, so let's stop this. It was Simmons, wasn't it? The question is, how did he know about our Berlin alliance? Your side said you had a plan to deliver him to me. Well, that didn't work, did it? So let's refocus our efforts. You get me Spawn, I'll get you your wings back. Here's what I know. You miss flying, don't you? Let me help with that. Don't you just like when they kind of soften you up just before the big finale? Well, he throws him out and gives him a little test flight, but the brother can't fly. And Blood tells him, tell security to clean that up, clean that mess up before the police come. So Al Simmons is recovering over here, but he doesn't know how long he blacked out for, nor does he care. All that matters to Spawn is that he gets back on his feet and is able-bodied at that point. But being human again, that'll take time because he needs time to heal. But that's time he can't afford. Don't worry about that. That's a typo right there. Which is why he came to Jacob's workshop, to the man they call the Tinker. His skills might be the only thing that can keep Al alive. Hey, I need you, says the Tinker. even though we know his name is Jacob. So Jacob tells him, hey, I augmented some portable body simulators, connecting it to muscle impulses. In other words, all that fancy talk, he made Al like an Iron Man, Al Simmons, Spawn Man. I'm trying to think of Iron Man and Spawn, but he made him a suit. And all Al Simmons cares is, will it work? Of course it will. I built it. It takes a bit of time to walk Al through how the various components work, which is okay with Al. But now he can take on a tank. So Spawn is like, oh man, this is legit right here. This has got some drip to it. So in other words, it doesn't feel restricted to me. I left you an address, and at that address there's a bag of money for you, all right? I'll let you know how this thing works out. So Spawn goes about and goes on to his mission right now. This thing looks pretty sick to me. Before we go any further, I just want to let you guys know this video is sponsored by coffee. So if you'd like to buy a boy a cup of coffee, donate to the super thanks or link in description. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. With all that being said, let's get back into the content. After more testing, Spawn is satisfied. He knows he was lucky during his Berlin attack and barely escaped his past encounter. It's time he increased his odds. Military skills alone won't protect him if he's ambushed again. His body's still aching, which tells him that he won't survive that if it happens again. He needs another way. One that will catch his enemies off guard, giving him the chance he'll need to accomplish an even bigger goal, which is obviously to get to Blood's ass right there. So meanwhile, we see these vampires meeting up, and they're just mad that they let Spawn get away. They're like, well, Spawn wasn't supposed to survive that, and you guys should have split into two, not attack him in one. That's what caused it. They're like, well, Spawn barely crawled out of there, and the other guy's like, I think you're missing the point. We were supposed to kill him, not let him crawl. I don't give a damn how badly injured he was. He's not dead. He killed our side, and how many did he kill? 6. That's absurd. So let's hunt the bastard down. He couldn't have gotten far without being noticed. I'll take it from here. So put another group together. No, put 2 more groups together, then stand by for orders. I'm gonna do my computer magic and locate this sumbitch. Check back in an hour. So 20 minutes later, Spawn's like, Tyrone, you ain't got to call me. I'm calling Tyrone. That's an old school song if you guys don't know. But anyway, Spawn's like, I believe you're looking for me right here. Holds him at gunpoint. And Tyrone's like, nah, bro, you can't be looking for smoke like that. You're not going to shoot me. You're not that dumb. This place is wired for gunfire frequency. You shoot me, it sets off the alarms. And Spawn's like, yeah, but you'll be dead. So will you, because this entire place will go into lockdown. You won't be able to escape. Sure, I'll be dead, but New York Police Department, half of New York's finest, will be there to beat you up too. I didn't come here to kill you. I'm here to kidnap you. Tyrone's like, come on, bro. You know who my dad is? That's why I'm here, to piss off your dad. Spawn he's like I said, Spawn's on business right now, and he's gonna see you suffer. And he'll hunt you like a dog, says Tyrone. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. Now call your men. I need a witness that'll give your dad my message. Call your men. You're a dead man, says Tyrone. Don't matter. Spawn is on business right now, and he's got something up his sleeve. And that he does, and the men start coming. You've got some sort of plan, don't you, says Tyrone. You wouldn't have come here if you didn't think you'll get out alive. Is that it? Is a suit? You think the suit was going to protect you? Before Spawn will even glorify that with an answer, the men come in ready for business, and Spawn's like, welcome, gentlemen. Only one of you is leaving alive. And that's when his actual plan kicks in. And by the look on his enemies' faces, he knows none of these angels are prepared to deal with the kind of monstrosity now towering over them. Why? Because he's got Cygor right there, ready to be an ally to Spawn, and ready to do that work, and ready for that smoke too, because that's how Spawn turns the tables on his enemies. And I want to see what happens on the next issue. What you guys think of this comic book? Comment below, let me know. Also, link in description if you wish to add this comic book and or any of our other limited print rated comics exclusives to add to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry. With all that being said, thank you again for watching. Until next time.